Okay, this video is about the MacBook trackpad. And the trackpad, of course, is the same as your mouse. It moves your cursor around. And I think it's pure magic, the MacBook trackpads. So these are on the MacBook Airs and the MacBook Pros as well. The first thing is moving the cursor. The trackpad is so sensitive, it's absolutely perfect. I don't know if you can see my cursor there or not. I'll zoom in. But when I touch the trackpad as light as I possibly can, the cursor moves around. It's you can't fool it. As soon as you're touching the trackpad, it's tracking with your finger. The cursor is moving. It's that good. And you can push it hard and it moves. You can push it soft and it moves. It's absolutely, you cannot fool it. It's perfect. It's worth buying this computer just for the trackpad, and that's why I'm making this video, because it's just so amazing. Now keep in mind, I've only used the computer here for a year, so I don't know everything, but I will give you a lot of tips on how to use the trackpad. The first thing is when you're selecting something on your computer screen, if it's already selected, you know, like you go over here and you click once, and you know, you can select, I'm selecting different documents. So I clicked once over my document. Now if I double click, I can make it, I can maximize it and I can use it. That's the first thing. Once something is already selected, you can click it again, like on the internet. If I hover my cursor over top of this email, and I click once, I'm going to open that email. Some things you can click once, some things you have to click twice. If you are on the web and you go to something that is highlighted already, you can just click one time. So when your cursor goes over top, it registers some things on the web, and you can just click and go. The two-finger click is actually a right-click button. So if I'm in here and I double-click this word, it will highlight that whole word. But say I want to highlight barely. I double-click it, and then I two-finger tap over top of where I highlighted. And what that brings up is a right-click menu. So you can cut, copy, paste, change the font, paragraph, add bullets or numbering, look up the definition of something, look for synonyms. It'll tell you hardly, scarcely, or just for barely. You can translate it into a different language, or you could create a hyperlink. So I'm in Word here, and it will give me those options. If you're on your desktop and you do a two-finger tap one time, it'll give you a right-click menu that says New Folder, Get Info, Change Desktop Background, Clean Up, you know, etc. It'll give you many other options to do. So it's two-finger for the right-click. I have my right-click set up for something else here. You have a right mouse click. So there's a left button in the lower left corner here, and there's a right button over here. My right button I don't have set up to do the normal right-click features. I just prefer to use the two-finger tap. It's much easier. The left, you can use your left mouse click to open documents. Double-click it, it opens. So that's another option, but it makes noise, and it is just less nice than doing a one-finger double tap. You know, it's very quick. Wherever you are on the mouse pad, you just do a one-finger double click, and it opens right up. So that's that. You can click and drag with three fingers. So you highlight something, here's my document, I tapped it once. Now I can put three fingers down and I can move that document over here, say. I can move this document over here. With three fingers, click and drag and let go. So that's pretty interesting. And you can do that in anything. If I highlight all of these, well, if I had a place I could, maybe I do. And I 3-finger touch down, drag. Oh, I didn't drag far enough. Wait. I could still do it. Okay, so I have all that highlighted up there. I click with 3 fingers and I drag it down to this box down here, and it dragged a copy of it into this box so I can use it. And then I can say go. I don't want to do that, it's not going to give me anything, but just so you see, you can select text from like the menu up here. And 3-finger drag it down to here. In Word you can also do it, it's very easy. You can put your cursor say here, 3-finger, 3-finger select, so I'm just dragging really. It's like holding my left mouse button down and dragging when I'm using 3 fingers. So I selected that, and then I want to put 3 fingers down again, and I want to drag it up to here and let it go. And it just moved everything up there. I'm going to Command Z that so I don't screw up my document, but you understand that it's very easy to click and drag with 3 fingers. Now, 4 fingers, you can drag 4 fingers across left and right, and you can move between desktop and open applications. So, say I have Word open here, I go over here to the top right section and I click that and I maximize so it fills up my whole screen, right? So now I have Word running in that screen. I can use 4 fingers, swipe left, or swipe right, I'm sorry, and then I go to my desktop, or swipe back and go right to that Word again. What you can also do is you can have many different applications open. So now I've maximized my Chrome web browser and Word, so I can scroll between desktop, Chrome, and Word just with 4-finger swipe. So when I'm writing, this is really helpful because I'm writing in Word, and then I need to go over and look up a word, in Google. So I go over here to Google, type up the word, whatever it is, barely, find the definition, and then, oh yeah, that's right. So I go back here to Word and I continue writing. But I use that all the time. You can maximize as many applications as you want and scroll between all of them. You can do your messages, QuickTime Player, Firefox at the same time as OpenOffice. You can have like 16 different apps open at the same time and just scroll through them just with a left and a right 4-finger swipe. Say you're in Chrome here and you want to get to the desktop quickly. You could do a 4-finger up swipe will bring you all of the applications that you have open, and you can choose from them quickly. So say I wanted to get to desktop, I just click on desktop. So that's another way you can do it, is 4-finger swipe up. If you want to just go back to where you were, you 4-finger swipe down and it will bring you back to where you were. So say I'm over here in Chrome, I do 4-finger swipe up. It doesn't matter where you are, you can always do 4-finger swipe up and get the open applications on your desktop. 4-finger swipe down will bring you back to where you were, or just choose one of these and you can go. This is like an extra screen. It gives you a typewriter. You can add anything you want. Calendar here, ski report, web clip, world clock, whatever you want. This is like a play space sort of, and it's always to the left of your desktop if you 4-finger swipe, no matter what. Let's see. What else can I show you? The trackpad is just really brilliant. It's it always works. It never gives me an error. If I'm touching it, it's registering no matter what, in every application, whether it's graphics I'm doing or graphics you need to have very precise finger movement. It does that for you. I mean, it's just brilliant. It's worth buying the MacBook Air or the MacBook Pro just for the trackpad. I swear to God. The trackpad's on the, I have other computers. I have this HP ProBook, which is old, But look at this trackpad, how small it is. This is how they were back then, right? But we have 4 computers. There's another one over here. This one, I think the trackpad's a little bit bigger. This is one of those, yeah, it's a little bit wider. But this is an HP 12-inch computer from a while ago. And the trackpad on it is just, when you switch from Mac to go back to IBM trackpads, I mean PC trackpads, oh God, they're just horrible. So we have that. We have another IBM somewhere in my box there. And then we have another IBM Lenovo downstairs, but none of them have a trackpad that's anything like this. This is it's absolutely perfect. You can't get a better trackpad, and you can see the reviews in you can see the reviews at YouTube and also the online computer magazines that talk about trackpads. There is no trackpad that is anything like this. You have to get it. It actually helps you do your work instead of gets in the way, You don't feel like you're using it. You feel like it's an extension of your finger, an extension of what you want to do. And once you learn it, and once you know, you don't even have to learn it. I mean, it's so intuitive. It's pure brilliant. Just get the MacBook or MacBook Air or MacBook Pro. You're going to be so happy with it just for the trackpad, I promise you. Okay, so I'm going to show you the Mac tutorials for using the trackpad. Down here on your system bar is the System Preferences. Click that once. Go over here to Trackpad. Click that once. And then here you have these little helpful videos. Let's start over here with the first tab. Point and click. So on the right side you'll see the little video which corresponds to these left functions. So put your cursor over the first one. It tells you how to tap to click. I think everybody knows that one. Secondary click, which is equivalent to the Windows version of the right click. So you just use 2 fingers like that. And you can turn these off or on here. You might as well leave them on and get used to them. Try to play with them a little bit. If you put your cursor over top of a word and then 3-finger tap, you'll get a lookup and it will define it for you. 3-finger drag. I showed you how you can drag icons around, you can drag photos around on your desktop. Down here we have tracking speed, so you can adjust the speed of your cursor as you move it around. Here I'm really moving my cursor around really hard. It should be filling the whole screen, but it's only going about 1 inch in diameter here. If I put it on fast and I go full screen, and I go move the cursor around as much as I can, it really goes across the screen fast, so I can get things done quickly. You might want to use slow if you're working on graphics and you need like a real fine adjustment, for a line or something or whatever you're editing. But for the most part, probably you can use fast as well. Go up here to the middle tab, scroll to zoom. You can see, you can use, I didn't show you this, but on your browser you can scroll up and down with your 2 fingers instead of using right up and down arrows on the right side like you do in Windows. Zoom in or out, you can pinch to zoom and zoom in and pinch to zoom out. Smart zoom is double tap with 2 fingers. It will enlarge whatever's in the center of your screen, whether it's a photo or text, and it's pretty smart to know which one you're looking at. Rotate, you can rotate your images like this. That one takes a little practice. Go up here to the 3rd tab, more gestures. You can swipe between pages like this. And I'll show you that in Chrome in a second. I like how it does it on Chrome. Swipe between full screen apps with 4 fingers like I showed you. Notification Center, I never use it, but you can use the Notification Center by using 2 fingers starting on the plastic over on the right side and then jumping over as you slide your fingers to the left, and it will bring open the Notification Center. Mission Control, I showed you this, which is just 4 fingers swipe up, 4 down to hide it, but this will show you your open apps. App Expose is basically the same thing, it just tiles your apps that you have open so you can see them all. Launchpad is 3 fingers and your thumb pinching and spreading, so you can see all of the applications that you have on your computer, and you can open any other one that you want to keep open. Show Desktop is basically the same thing. Okay, now I'm going to close this and I'm going to go to my Chrome browser, and I want to show you how you can I just have to click a couple links first. So I have a history. So now I have some pages that were open before, and then I have this page that's open now, right? So I'm going to use 2 fingers, I'm going to touch the trackpad, and then I'm going to drag it to the right, and see that left button there? That's going to take me backwards into my history for the page I had open before. Then I can do it again. 2 finger, touch the trackpad, drag those 2 fingers to the right, and that's where I have them now, and then I let go, and it takes me backwards to the page I had open just before that. And you can drag to the left and get, you can go forward as well. So it's really nice, super fast, right? You don't have to worry about trying to go backwards. You don't have to go up here to your history and click these arrows, you know. You don't have to move all the way up there and click arrows to go backwards or forwards. You just use your 2 fingers and you can go forward or backward in your history very quickly. So that's about it for the MacBook trackpads. I absolutely love them. If you haven't figured that out yet, I'm like a cheerleader for these things. I love them to death, and literally for me, it would be worth it to buy the MacBook Air or MacBook Pro just for these trackpads. I mean, that's how much I love them. I never had a trackpad that was anything like this with Windows computers, and I don't expect to probably for years.